I was in Ginny McCormack's home. She was preparing a big dinner in her home and making garland out of real pines, fruits, berries, and it smelled wonderful. Decorating the way our grandmothers did, home life consultant Ginny McCormack is here to show us how. Hey, Ginny, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good. I remember walking into your house last Christmas, and it was like Martha Stewart was laid out on your kitchen island, and I was so impressed.
You remember the nicest things. I remember the mess and the pine needles all over the floor, but thank you for having such good selective memory.
I remember how beautiful it was and how wonderful it smelled.
Yes. Well, it does smell good, and that's one of the reasons I like the live ingredients so much as opposed to the artificial. I do have some artificial items in my home, but any chance I get to bring in something fresh, I do. And one of my favorite things is inspired by colonial Williamsburg.
Yes.
Where, you know, in Williamsburg, the pineapple is the symbol of welcome. And it's really a universal symbol of hospitality and welcome, which is often why they were on the front door. And I just thought this was the neatest thing, and I wanted to figure out a way to make one of these things without start with a board where I had to hammer nails, and I tend to like to take shortcuts. They don't always
make
work.
it easy.
They don't, but when they do, they do. And so I came up with a little trick to make an arrangement just like this that's just as easy as can be.
Okay, because that is beautiful.
We're going to start with it. It's just a 24-inch standard Fraser. Now this is a juniper wreath, which I picked up at the local garden store.
Okay.
Okay. And the first time I got
Sometimes
this,
you can get these at Christmas tree lots or at the garden store where they've already done the wreath for you.
Exactly. They've done the leaf for me. Now, don't get alarmed when I start abusing this poor wreath here, because he's not going to stay in the shape he's in. I take them and I literally squeeze.
Look at those muscles.
Squeeze it together. Now, see, it's not looking quite so much like a perfect wreath anymore, but the nice thing is that these wires are pliable, and so really, quite frankly, you can go in and clip and bend and do what you want to get the shape that you desire.
That's a great idea.
So now I'm going into more of an oblong shape. As you can see, the hole in the center is somewhat disappearing. Okay, and we're going to start with our pineapple. What I did was I cleaned him up. I rubbed him with a little bit of mineral oil just to kind of make him shine nicely. And I'm starting with forest wire. Florist wire, not forest wire.
And you can get that at the craft store.
Yes. Michael's carries it. Even Walmart carries it. And what I do is I go right around the base like that. With I would say this piece is at least 3 feet long.
Right, and you're right in the middle.
Right in the center, right there at the base. Give it a good tug, okay? Then I'm going to lay my pineapple right where I want him. Right
in the middle.
And he rests kind of in that, you know, that
it makes a little bed.
Makes a little bed for him, a little indentation. I'm going to run my wires around the side. Don't worry if the wires are showing right now, because later we can come and cover them up with some of the... Okay, so I'm just going to flip them over like that, okay?
I'll hold it still.
You're holding it still for me. And this is where I just give it a good, strong tie. There. We want it nice and secure so he's not hanging loose in front.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Nice and tight.
Okay, see if that's good and tight for him. Okay, then kind of twist it around a little bit.
Okay.
So we don't.
Sometimes I get in there with my needle nose pliers and twist
kind of twist them so that you're not, especially if you're going to hang it on the door. Then you don't want the back of the wires sort of. Okay.
Look.
And he's good and secure, if you can see there.
Wow.
Okay.
That's solid.
There he is, and you can always maneuver him around, manipulate him a little bit as you see fit. And then if you do see the wires, just take your little branches and kind of tuck them in there.
Stick them around.
This particular one is going to be a citrus arrangement. Now, this is very popular still in Williamsburg.
Yes.
They use a lot of
you see it a lot,
limes,
especially when you go to Williamsburg in the holidays. You see it on the homes.
Very popular.
Very in colonial Williamsburg.
I rub mine with a little mineral oil, which I already have on the rag here, just to kind of keep them nice and shiny, so they look good. Now, on this one, we did sort of an apple and orange pattern. Okay, I thought we'd try limes, maybe lemons, maybe here.
Okay.
Okay, then maybe some limes here. Okay. And follow up with some lemons again on the bottom.
So a little bit symmetrical.
A little symmetrical. Now I'll do the first one here for you to show you. I tend to take my little florist pick. Okay. I pull the wire off because most of the time I don't need it. Right. I do have wire available if I should need to go back in. I'm plugging it in, pushing it in. Pretty far up in there. Now, the nice thing about this wreath is, remember, it had that wire around it, and all of those branches were being held together. It's real easy. If you stick your finger in there, you can find, like I just found one. I found a nice base.
Like a little place where you can stick it in.
Yeah, and it just wedges right between there. So I don't really need to be wrapping. If you'd like to try.
I'll get in here.
I'll do the lime next.
Which side did you do first?
I like to have the pretty side up, so the uglier sort of where it was picked from. I do it just from the side there, and you can push it, I'd say, anywhere from half to 3/4 of the way into the lime.
And then just find a little spot in there.
And it's not always easy. So there were times when it took me several times to find a good spot.
I think I did it.
You did it.
Hey.
First time, Lisa.
I can do that. Oh, the lime has a little tougher.
Yeah, you kind of.
I broke it.
Here you go.
Wait, no, now I sharpened it.
Okay.
I made a spear.
May work even better. Yeah, these things can make some dangerous weaponry.
I've got lime juice on me now.
Yeah, it starts to smell so good.
Yeah.
Well, last year when I had this on my front door, the kids and I kept hearing little noises on the front door.
Yeah.
And we kept wondering what it was. We'd open the door and there wouldn't be anything there. Turns out later there was a bird that had come and had made a little nest.
I've had that happen.
Have you had that?
As well.
And every time we opened the door, it just took off so fast before we could see it.
But then you've got that nest in there.
Yeah.
I know. We stopped using the front door because we didn't want to disturb.
We didn't want to disturb the nest. I have to thank my next door neighbor for allowing me to come out this morning.
I think I broke it again.
It's okay.
No, we're good. He's in there.
Okay, you're good. You can always go back and reinforce. My husband pruned my magnolia tree up so high that I couldn't reach the leaves anymore. I had to call my neighbor this morning.
Oh.
Can I come pick some?
Can I prune your tree?
Like, come on over. Anyway, so look, maybe a little touch of something at the bottom.
Okay.
We use the Nandina, which are fabulous.
Which is so nice because
they're so red.
Yeah, I love that Nandina.
But then we're just going to slide a little magnolia in there at the bottom.
Your side.
Got it. Best you can there.
Oh, that's good.
And it just kind of fits in there. And I dare to say, this wreath cost, let's see, what was it? I think I paid $12.99 for the wreath.
Yeah.
Maybe another $3 or $4 for the pine cone. Sorry, for the pineapple. My magnolia leaves are free because I got it from my neighbor. And a little bit of citrus.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, you look in Smith & Hawken for something like this and you're going to pay 50 or 60 bucks.
Look
for
at
a beautiful arrangement like that.
And nice and fresh on your front door, and it's beautiful.
You can create a loop on the back with your wire to hang it, or not, if you've got a good hook.
Just use one of those nice wreath hooks on your front door.
And it'll hang right on there, and there you go.
What a great idea.
Isn't it wonderful? And
I love that.
It smells so good, and being outside, it'll last till Christmas. Things
Great,
outside
because it's nice and cold.
Nice and cold, and a little humid, and it'll be beautiful.